Chapter 3, Success Winning Strategies. Superachievers don't waste time in unproductive thoughts, esoteric thoughts, or catastrophic thoughts. They think constructively and they know that their level of thinking determines their success. By Dr. Seymour Epstein. You need to keep your mind on what you want, not on what you don't want. Success is not an accident, it is the result of your attitude, and your attitude is a choice. Hence, success is a matter of choice, not chance. A priest was driving when he saw an exceptionally beautiful farm. He stopped at the edge of a field, got out, and stood quietly, appreciating the bountiful crop. The farmer was riding on his tractor and saw the priest. He drove over to where the priest was standing. The priest said to him, "God has blessed you with a beautiful farm. You should be grateful for it." The farmer replied, "Yes, God has blessed me with a beautiful farm and I am grateful for it. But you should have seen this farm when God had the whole farm to himself." Most crackpots keep waiting for a jackpot, but that strategy rarely brings success. The common man seeks security, whereas the uncommon man seeks opportunity. Why does one person move forward with one success story after another, while others are still getting ready? Why does one man go through life crossing one hurdle after another and accomplishing his goals while another struggles and gets nowhere? If the answer to these two questions become part of the way you learn, it would revolutionize your life. What is success? If you really want to succeed, form the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. By Anonymous. A lot of research has been done on the subject of success and failure. The secrets of success can be learned from the life histories of successful people. Successful people have certain qualities in common, no matter which period of history they lived in, and no matter what their fields of endeavor. Success leaves clue. If we identify and adopt the qualities of successful people, we too shall be successful. Similarly, there are characteristics common to people who aren't successful. If we avoid those characteristics, then we shall not be failure. Success is no mystery. It is simply the result of consistently applying some basic principles. The reverse is just as true. Failure is simply a result of making a few mistakes repeatedly. This might sound too simplistic, but the fact is that most truths are very simple. I am not saying they are easy, but they are simple. To laugh often and love much, to win the respect of intelligent persons and the affection of children, to earn the approval of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to give of oneself without the slightest thought of return, to have accomplished a task, whether a healthy child, a rescued soul, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to have played and laughed with enthusiasm and sung with exaltation, to know that even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. By Anonymous. How do we define success? What makes a person successful? How do we recognize success? To some people, success might mean wealth. To others, it is recognition, good health, a good family, happiness, satisfaction, and peace of mind. What this really tells us is that success is subjective. Success means different things to different people. The definition that I feel best summarizes success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. By Earl Nightingale. Let's look at these definitions carefully. Progressive means that success is a journey, not a destination. We never arrive. After we reach one goal, we go on to the next and so on. Realization means it is an experience. Outside forces cannot make me feel successful. I have to feel it within myself. It is internal, not external. That is why what often appears as success externally may be total hollowness within. Worthiness refers to our value system, without which goals can be unworthy. Which way are we heading, towards positive or negative goals? Worthiness determines the quality of the journey. That is what gives meaning and fulfillment. Goals are important because they give us a sense of direction. Success without fulfillment is empty. I don't know the key to succeed, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. By Bill Cosby. Success doesn't mean being liked and accepted by everyone. There are some groups I would not, out of choice, want to be accepted by. I would rather be criticized by fools than appreciated by unsavory characters. I see success as a manifestation of good luck that results from inspiration, aspiration, desperation, and perspiration. Generally, in that sequence. Success and happiness go hand in hand. Success is getting what you want, and happiness is wanting what you get. Existence alone is not success. It is a lot more. Do more than exist, that is life. Do more than touch, that is feel. Do more than look, that is observe. Do more than read, that is absorb. Do more than hear, that is listen. And do more than listen, that is understand. By John H. Rawls. Some obstacles to success, real or imagined. Ego, fear of failure या fear of success, lack of self-esteem, no plan, lack of formalized goals, life changes, procrastination, family responsibilities, financial securities issues, lack of focus, being muddled, giving up visions for promises of money, doing too much alone, overcommitment, lack of training, lack of persistence, and lack of priorities. The winning edge. In order to get the winning edge, we need to strive for excellence, not perfection. Striving for perfection is neurotic. Striving for excellence is progress, because there is nothing that can't be done better or improved. All that we need is a little edge. The winning horse in the race may win with 5-1 or 10-1 odds. Do you think he is 5 or 10 times faster than the other horse? Of course not. He may only be faster by a fraction, by a nose, but the rewards are 5 or 10 times greater. Is it fair? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Those are the rules of the game. That is the way the game is played. The same is true in our lives. Successful people are not 10 times smarter than the people who fail. They may be fractionally better, but the rewards are 10 times bigger. We don't need to improve 1000% in any one area. All you need to improve 1% in 1000 different areas, which is a lot easier. That is the winning edge. Struggle. History has demonstrated that the most notable winners usually encountered heartbreaking obstacles before they triumphed. They won because they refused to become discouraged by their defeats. By B.C. Forbes. Trials in life can be tragedies or triumphs, depending on how we handle them. Triumphs don't come without effort. A biology teacher was teaching his student how a caterpillar turns into butterfly. He told the students that in the next couple of hours, the butterfly would struggle to come out of the cocoon, but no one should help the butterfly. Then he left. The students were waiting, and it happened. The butterfly struggled to get out of the cocoon, and against the advice of the teacher, one of the students took pity on it and decided to help the butterfly out of the cocoon. He broke the cocoon to help the butterfly so it didn't have to struggle anymore, but shortly afterwards the butterfly died. When the teacher returned, he was told what had happened. He explained to the students that it is a law of nature, that the struggle to come out of the cocoon actually helps develop and strengthen the butterfly's wings. By helping the butterfly, the boy had deprived the butterfly of its struggle, and the butterfly died. Apply the same principles to our lives. Nothing worthwhile in life comes without a struggle. As parents, we tend to hurt the ones we love most because we don't allow them to struggle to gain strength. Overcoming obstacles. People who have overcome obstacles are more secure than those who have never faced them. We all have problems and sometimes feel discouraged. Everyone faces disappointments, but winners don't get disheartened. The answer is perseverance. An English proverb says, "A smooth sea never made a skillful mariner." Everything is difficult before it becomes easy. We cannot run away from our problems, only losers quit and give up. Most people give up just when they are about to achieve success. They quit on the 1 yard line, they give up at the last minute of the game, 1 foot from a winning touchdown by H. Ross Parrott. How do we measure success? True success is measured by the feeling of knowing we have done a job well and achieved our objective. Success is not measured by our position in life but by the obstacle we overcame to get there. Success in life is not determined by how we are doing compared with others, but by how we are doing compared with what we are capable of doing. Successful people compete against themselves. They better their own records and keep improving constantly. Success is not measured by how high we go up in life, but rather by how many times we bounce back when we fall down. It is this bounce back ability that determines success. Every success story is also a story of great failure. Failure is the highway to success. Tom Watson, senior of IBM, said, "If you want to succeed, double your failure rate." If we study history, we will find that all stories of success are also stories of great failure, but people don't see the failures, they only see the end result and they think that person got lucky. He must have been at the right place at the right time. Let me share a famous life history with you. This was a man who failed in business at the age of 21, was defeated in a legislative race at the age 22, failed again in business at the age 24, had his sweetheart die when he was age 26, had a nervous breakdown at the age 27, lost a congressional race at the age 34, lost a senatorial race at the age 45, failed in an effort to become vice president at the age 47, lost a senatorial race at the age 49, and was elected president of the US at age 52. This was the man, Abraham Lincoln. Would you call Lincoln a failure? He could have quit, hung his head in shame, and gone back to his law practice, but to Lincoln, defeat was a detour, not a dead end. In 1913, Lee De Forest, inventor of the triode tube, was charged by the district attorney for using fraudulent means to mislead the public into buying stocks in his company by claiming that he could transmit the human voice across the Atlantic. He was publicly humiliated. Can you imagine where we would be without his invention? A New York Times editorial on December 10, 1903 questioned the wisdom of the Wright brothers who were trying to invent a machine, heavier than air, that would fly. 1 week later at Kitty Hawk, the Wright brothers took the famous flight. Colonel Sanders, at the age 65, had assets of a beat-up car and a $100 check from Social Security. He realized he had to do something to improve his position. He remembered his mother's fried chicken recipe and went out selling. How many doors did he have to knock on before he got his first order? It is estimated that he had knocked on more than 1,000 doors before he got his first order. How many of us quit after 3 tries, 10 tries, 100 tries, and then we say, we tried as hard as we could? As a young cartoonist, Walt Disney faced many rejections from newspaper editors who said he had no talent. One day, a minister at a church hired him to draw some cartoons. Disney was working out of a small rodent-infested shed near the church. Seeing a small mouse inspired him to draw a new cartoon. That was the start of Mickey Mouse. Successful people don't do great things. They only do small things in a great way. One day, a partially deaf 4 years old child came home with a note in his pocket from his teacher. Your Tommy is too stupid to learn. Get him out of the school. His mother read the note and answered, my Tommy is not stupid to learn. I will teach him myself. And that Tommy grew up to be the great Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison had only 3 months of formal schooling. Henry Ford forgot to put the reverse gear in the first car he made. Do you consider these people failure? They succeeded in spite of problems, not in the absence of them. But to negative thinkers, it appears as thought they just got lucky. All success stories are stories of great failures. The only difference is that every time they failed, they bounced back. This is called failing forward rather than backward. You learn and move forward. Learn from your failures and keep going. In 1914, Thomas Edison at the age 67 lost his factory to fire. It had very little insurance. No longer a young man, Edison watched his lifetime effort go up in smoke and said, there is great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burnt up. Thank God we can start anew. In spite of disaster, 3 weeks later, he invented the phonograph. What an attitude! Below are more examples of the failure of successful people. Thomas Edison failed approximately 10,000 times while he was working on the light bulb. Henry Ford was broke at the age of 40. Lee Iacocca was fired by Henry Ford too at the age of 54. Young Beethoven was told that he had no talent for music, but he gave some of the best music to the world. Setbacks are inevitable. A setback can act as a driving force and also teach us humility. In grief, you will find courage and faith to overcome the setback. Learn to become victors, not victims. Fear and doubt short-circuit the mind. Ask yourself after every setback, what did I learn from this experience? Only then will you be able to turn a stumbling block into a stepping stone. If you think you're beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win but think you can't, it's almost a cinch you won't. If you think you'll lose, you are lost. For out in the world we find success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You have got to think how to rise. You have got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger and faster man, but sooner or later the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. The greatest gift. Of all the creatures in the world, humans are physically the most ill-equipped. A human cannot fly like a bird, outrun a leopard, swim like an alligator, nor climb trees like a monkey. A human doesn't have the eye of an eagle, nor the claws and teeth of a wild cat. Physically, humans are helpless and defenseless. A tiny insect can kill them, but nature is responsible and kind. Nature's greatest gift to humankind is the ability to think. Humans can create their own environment, whereas animals adopt to their environment. Sadly, very few people use the greatest gift, the ability to think, to its full potential. Failures are of two kinds: those who did and never thought, and those who thought and never did. Going through life without using your ability to think is like shooting without aiming. Life is like a cafeteria. You take your tray, select your food and pay at the other end. You can get anything you want as long as you are willing to pay the price. In a cafeteria, if you wait for people to serve you, you will wait forever. Life is like that too. You make choices and pay the price to succeed. Life is full of choices and compromise. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waited for. It is a thing to be achieved. By William Jennings Bryan. At first glance, it might seem that there is a contradiction in the statement that life is full of choices and compromises. If life is full of choice, where is the question of compromise? But even a compromise is a choice. Let's evaluate this. How is life full of choices? When we eat too much, we make a choice to be overweight. When we drink too much, we make a choice to have a headache the next day. If we drink and drive, we choose to risk being killed or killing someone in an accident. When we ill-treat people, we choose to be ill-treated in return. When we don't care about other people, we choose not to be cared for by other people. Choices have consequences. We are free to make our choices, but after we have chosen, the choice controls us. We have equal opportunity to be unequal. The choice is ours. Life can be compared to a pottery maker who shapes clay in any form he wants. Similarly, we can mold our lives into any shape we want. How is life full of compromises? Life is not just party and pleasure, it is also pain and despair. Unthinkable things happen. Sometimes everything turns upside down. Bad things happen to good people. Some things are beyond control, such as physical disability and birth defects. We cannot choose our parents or the circumstances of our birth. If the ball bounced the wrong way for you, I am sorry. But what do you do from that point on? Cry or take the ball and run? That's a choice you have to make. On a clear day, there are hundreds of boats sailing in all different directions in a lake. Even though the wind is blowing in one direction, the sailboats are going in different directions. Why? It depends on the way the sail is set, and that is determined by the sailor. The same is true of our lives. We cannot choose the direction of the wind, but we can choose how we set our sail. Health, happiness, and success depend upon the fighting spirit of each person. The big thing is not what happens to us in life, but what we do about what happens to us, by George Allen. We can choose our attitude even though we cannot always choose our circumstances. The choice is either to act like a victor or become a victim. It is not our position but our disposition that determines our destiny. It takes both rain and sunshine to create a rainbow. Our lives are no different. There is happiness and sorrow. There is good and bad, dark spots and bright spots. When we can handle adversity well, it only strengthens us. We cannot control all the events that happens in our lives, but we can control how we deal with them. Richard Blackington wanted to promote Indian tea at the St. Louis World Fair. It was very hot and no one wanted to sample his tea. Blackington saw that ice drinks were doing a flourishing business. It dawned on him to make his tea into an ice drink, mix in some sugar and offer it for sale. People loved it. That was the introduction of iced tea to the world. Human beings are not like an acorn, which has no choice. An acorn cannot decide whether to become a giant tree or to become food for the squirrels. Human beings have choices. If nature gives us a lemon, we have a choice either to cry or make lemonade. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, you can react responsibly or resentfully. The choice is yours. Thank you, friends. If you like this video, please give a hit button, and for more updates, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.